Welcome to Goodnight History. Close your eyes. Allow the world around you to fade into the background. The day is over. The endless rush of hours, the noise, the demands, the bright lights. You are safe in this space. You are anchored in this moment. Tonight, we are going to leave the modern world entirely. We are going to travel backward through the vast, quiet corridors of time, across oceans and continents, across centuries and millennia, stepping away from the glowing screens and the rushing machines. We are traveling back nearly 2,000 years to the very heart of the ancient world, to the eternal city, to Rome. Imagine the city at the height of its unimaginable power. A sprawling metropolis of marble and brick, of grand temples and narrow, winding streets. By day, this city is a roaring ocean of humanity. A million voices echoing through the valleys of the 7 hills. The heavy wooden wheels of merchant carts grind against stone. The shouts of senators in the forum, the marching of bronze-clad legions, the bustling of markets filled with spices from the furthest edges of the known world. But that is the daytime. And right now, it is midnight. The great capital has finally surrendered to the dark. The relentless machinery of the empire has stopped. The streets are entirely empty. The merchants have closed their heavy wooden shutters. The politicians have retreated to their villas. The blacksmiths and the bakers have let their fires burn down to ash. The world is asleep. Above the city, a thick, heavy blanket of clouds has rolled in from the Mediterranean Sea. The sky is the color of deep, crushed velvet. There are no stars tonight. There is only the absolute, comforting darkness of a world waiting for the storm. Listen to the sky. Far off in the distance, a low, rumbling vibration rolls across the heavens. It is a soft, muted thunder, muffled by the thick clouds. And then the rain begins. It starts slowly. A few heavy, solitary drops falling from the dark void above. They strike the dry, dusty terracotta tiles of the rooftops. They hit the dry earth of the courtyards. Breathe in the night air. As those first drops touch the ancient soil, they release a scent that is as old as the earth itself. The smell of petrichor. The rich, earthy, deeply comforting aroma of fresh rain meeting warm dust. It is a scent that grounds you. A scent that whispers to the deepest, most primal parts of your mind, telling you that the heat of the day is gone and the time for rest has come. Within moments, the scattered drops turn into a gentle, steady rhythm. Millions of tiny droplets falling from the sky in perfect, unbroken harmony. A soft, continuous drumming sound that blankets the entire city. We are walking slowly down a wide, paved street. Feel the ground beneath your feet. It is made of massive blocks of volcanic basalt and smooth travertine. These stones have been polished by the sandals of countless generations. They are smooth, perfectly fitted together, carrying the history of an empire on their surface. Now, under the continuous fall of the rain, these stones begin to glisten. The water washes away the dust, leaving the dark rock shining like wet obsidian in the night. Small, shallow puddles begin to form in the natural dips of the ancient pavement. The rain falling into these puddles creates a beautiful, mesmerizing sound. A delicate, endless percussion, plink, plop, splash. Thousands of microscopic ripples expanding across the surface of the water, intersecting, overlapping, creating a chaotic yet perfectly rhythmic symphony of nature. Every drop that falls seems to wash away another thought from your mind. Every splash takes a worry, a memory of the day, and dissolves it into the dark, flowing water. You are becoming lighter. Your mind is becoming emptier. As we walk down this silent, wet street, we pass by the towering walls of an aristocratic villa. The walls are high, built of thick, solid brick and covered in smooth, white plaster. The rain runs down the faces of these walls in thin, glistening sheets, pooling at the base. Mounted high on the corner of the wall is an iron sconce holding a solitary torch. It is the only light on this long, dark street. The fire fights bravely against the falling rain. The heavy drops hiss as they strike the hot iron and the burning pitch. It creates a soft, sizzling sound that cuts through the steady drone of the storm. Look at the light of that torch. It is a warm, deep amber, a soft, golden glow that pushes back the darkness just enough to show the falling rain. In the light of the flame, you can see the raindrops falling in slow motion. Silver streaks of light cut through the black air, descending from the sky to the earth. The flame flickers in the night breeze. It wavers, growing smaller, then flaring up again, casting long, slow, dancing shadows across the wet cobblestones. Watch those shadows stretch and shrink. It is hypnotic. It is a slow, rhythmic dance of light and dark, of fire and water. As you watch the flame flicker, feel your own eyelids becoming heavy. The soft, pulsing glow of the fire is soothing, relaxing, pulling you deeper into a state of absolute tranquility. You do not need to keep your eyes open. You can just let the heavy curtain of sleep begin to fall. As we move past the flickering torchlight, the darkness embraces us once more, but it is not a scary darkness. It is a sheltering, protective darkness. It is the kind of darkness that hides you from the demands of the world, wrapping you in a cocoon of safety. In the distance, at the end of the street, the grand silhouette of a temple rises into the rainy sky. Its massive, fluted marble columns stand perfectly straight, holding up a heavy triangular pediment. The temple was built to honor gods whose names have faded into the mists of time, but the stone remains. The rain pours down on the white marble of those columns. Over the centuries, the elements have smoothed the edges of the stone, turning it into something soft and organic. The water cascades down the fluted grooves of the pillars like miniature waterfalls, rushing down the steps and disappearing into the cobblestone drains. Under the deep overhang of the temple's porch, standing completely still in the shadows, is a member of the Praetorian Guard. He is a sentinel of the night, tasked with guarding the sleeping city. He wears a heavy, dark woolen cloak pulled tightly around his shoulders to protect him from the damp chill of the night air. The rain falls softly on the thick fabric of his hood. He leans gently on the wooden shaft of his spear. He does not move. He does not speak. He is simply a silent guardian in the dark. You can sense the profound stillness in him. He watches the empty rain-slicked street with calm, steady eyes. He knows that tonight, the city is at peace. There are no enemies at the gates. There are no riots in the forums. There is only the rain and the deep, restorative slumber of the empire. Knowing he is there brings a profound sense of security. You are protected. The ancient walls surround you. The guards watch over the streets, and the rain washes away any lingering traces of the outside world. Think of the hundreds of thousands of people sleeping in the city around you right now. In the grand palaces on the Palatine Hill, the emperor rests on sheets of fine silk. In the crowded apartment blocks of the Suburra, the laborers and shopkeepers rest on beds of straw. The scholars, the soldiers, the merchants, all of them are equal tonight. All of them have closed their eyes. All of them have surrendered their consciousness to the soothing, endless rhythm of the falling rain. You are joining them. You are becoming part of this massive, silent choir of sleeping souls. Feel the physical weight of your body pressing down into your mattress. Feel the back of your head resting softly against your pillow. It is as if you are sinking into soft, warm sand. Your arms are heavy. Your legs are heavy. Your breathing is slow, steady, and perfectly synchronized with the falling rain. There is no rush to move forward. We will stay right here on this quiet, wet street, listening to the rain fall on the ancient stones. We will let the sounds of Rome at midnight wash over us, cleansing our minds, preparing our bodies for the deepest, most healing sleep. The rain continues to fall. The torch continues to flicker. The ancient city stands silent, holding you in its eternal embrace. As the night stretches on and on, we slowly leave the flickering light of the solitary torch behind us, moving deeper into the labyrinth of the sleeping city. There is no need to hurry. Time has completely stopped in this midnight world. Every step you take is effortless, as if you are floating just above the wet cobblestones, carried entirely by the gentle, sweeping current of the night. follows its steady, unbroken rhythm. It is a blanket of sound that wraps around the buildings, the statues, and the streets, hiding them from the harshness of the day. The deeper we walk into the city, the more the modern world fades from your memory. The screens, the notifications, the endless lists of tasks, they simply do not exist here. They have evaporated into the cool, damp air. There is only the rain. There is only this moment. As we wander down a narrow, curving lane, the tall walls on either side begin to fall away. The claustrophobic closeness of the residential streets gently opens up, revealing a vast, wide expanse. We have stepped into the Piazza della Rotonda. Stand here for a moment at the edge of the square. The air feels different here. It is more open, sweeping gently across the wide, flat paving stones. The rain falls freely, unhindered by the overhanging roofs of the narrow alleys. You can feel a very faint, cool mist brushing against your cheeks. It is refreshing. It is pure. It washes away any remaining heat or tension hidden within the muscles of your face. Feel your forehead smoothing out. Feel the tiny muscles around your eyes releasing their grip. Let your jaw drop ever so slightly, creating a tiny space between your teeth. As the cool mist touches your skin, your entire face softens, surrendering to the profound relaxation of the night. At the far end of the open square, an enormous silhouette looms in the darkness. It is a structure of impossible scale and perfect proportions. The Pantheon, the temple of all the gods. Even in the dead of night, shrouded in shadows and rain, its presence is incredibly powerful, yet deeply calming. It does not demand your attention. It simply exists, massive and unshakable. A mountain of stone and brick resting in the heart of Rome. We walk slowly across the empty piazza toward the great temple. The sound of the rain hitting the wide, flat stones is slightly deeper here, a resonant tapping that echoes faintly off the surrounding buildings. As we draw closer to the Pantheon, the sheer size of the portico begins to reveal itself. 16 massive columns stand in a row, holding up the heavy triangular pediment of the roof. These are not ordinary columns. They are towering, monolithic shafts of solid Egyptian granite, brought across the Mediterranean Sea centuries ago. In the dim, silvery light of the rain, the granite looks dark, almost black, speckled with faint veins of gray and deep red. We reach the base of the temple, slowly, effortlessly. We climb the few wide marble steps leading up into the portico. As we step beneath the grand, overhanging roof, the acoustic world around us shifts in an instant. The sharp, direct tapping of the rain on the ground suddenly disappears, replaced by a deep, resonant drumming far above our heads. You are no longer out in the open storm. You have stepped into a shelter, a massive, ancient sanctuary. The contrast is immediately comforting. Outside, the rain continues to fall, the wind continues to blow, and the night continues to wash over the city. But here, beneath the heavy wooden beams and the terracotta tiles of the portico roof, it is completely dry. The air is still. You can stand here, nestled among the giant granite columns, and simply watch the rain fall just a few feet away. It is a wonderful feeling to be so close to the elements, to hear the storm, to smell the damp earth, and yet to remain perfectly warm, perfectly safe, completely untouched by the cold. Reach out and place the palm of your hand against the surface of one of the massive granite columns. The stone is incredibly smooth, polished by time and human hands. It feels cool to the touch, but it also feels solid, immovable, permanent. This stone has stood here through countless storms, through the rise and fall of emperors, through the passing of entire ages. It does not worry about tomorrow. It does not regret yesterday. It simply stands, supporting the weight of the roof, rooted deeply in the earth. Borrow some of that stillness. Let the unshakable nature of the stone transfer into your own body. Feel the solidity of your mattress beneath you, supporting your entire weight, just as the earth supports this great temple. You do not need to hold yourself up anymore. You can let the bed carry you completely. Surrender your weight to gravity. Sink deeper into the softness of your blankets. We turn away from the columns and look toward the entrance of the temple. The doorway is massive, flanked by two towering doors made of solid, cast bronze. They are heavy, ancient, turned a deep, muted green by the passage of time and the moisture in the air. Tonight, one of the great bronze doors is left ever so slightly ajar, leaving a narrow opening into the darkness within. From that dark opening, a distinct, intoxicating scent spills out into the portico. It is the smell of the ancient world, the dry, dusty aroma of aged marble mixed with the faint, lingering sweetness of frankincense and myrrh. It is a holy smell, a scent that immediately calms the nervous system and slows the beating of your heart. We step slowly toward the opening. There is no one to stop us. The temple is empty. We slip through the narrow gap between the heavy bronze doors, stepping over the worn marble threshold and into the vast interior of the Pantheon. The moment we step inside, the world outside seems to vanish entirely. The sound of the rain on the piazza becomes a distant, muffled hum. The air inside the temple is entirely different. It is perfectly still, heavy with the weight of centuries, and wrapped in a profound, cavernous silence. The interior of the Pantheon is a perfect sphere, a marvel of ancient geometry and harmony. And because it is perfect, it feels incredibly soothing to the mind. The brain loves order. It loves balance. Standing in the center of this perfectly proportioned space, your own thoughts begin to align, settling into a state of deep, tranquil equilibrium. It is completely dark inside the massive rotunda, save for one extraordinary source of light. High above us, at the very apex of the magnificent, coffered dome, is the oculus, the great, unblinking eye of the Pantheon. It is a perfect circle, open entirely to the sky. There is no glass. There is no roof covering it. It is a direct portal to the heavens. We walk slowly to the very center of the vast marble floor, standing directly beneath the oculus. Look up. Through the circular opening far above, you can see the dark, velvet night sky. And falling through that opening, descending from the darkness into the temple, is a perfect, uninterrupted column of rain. Because the wind is completely blocked by the massive walls of the rotunda, the rain does not blow sideways, it falls straight down. A continuous, shimmering cylinder of water dropping from the sky, passing through the dome, and landing exactly in the center of the patterned floor. It is one of the most beautiful, hypnotic sights in the world. The sound it makes is unlike anything else in the city. Inside this giant, spherical echo chamber, the falling rain creates a deep, resonant, splashing melody. It is a soft, rhythmic drumming that echoes gently off the curved walls, amplifying into a rich, hollow, ambient hum. It sounds like the very heartbeat of the building. The water strikes the polished floor, which is made of beautiful geometric patterns of purple porphyry, yellow giallo antico, and gray granite. But the water does not flood the temple. The ancient engineers were wise. Directly beneath the oculus, hidden perfectly within the lines of the marble floor, are tiny, beautifully carved drains. Watch the waterfall. It descends from the dark sky, hits the stone with a soft, satisfying splash, and immediately flows away into the hidden channels, disappearing into the earth below. It is a cycle of perfect release. The sky releases the rain. The floor catches it. The earth absorbs it. You can do the very same thing. Imagine that the falling rain is washing through your mind. Every heavy thought, every lingering anxiety, every piece of mental clutter is caught in that shimmering column of water. It falls down, 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 hitting the marble floor and draining completely away, leaving you empty, leaving you clean, leaving you perfectly hollowed out and ready for sleep. Focus entirely on the sound of the water echoing in the great dome. It is a constant, endless white noise, a blanket of sound that covers your consciousness, silencing the inner voice that keeps you awake. There is no room for thoughts here. There is only the sound of the rain inside the pantheon. Splash by splash, drop by drop, echo by echo. The air inside the rotunda is cool, but it is a comforting coolness. It makes the warmth of your own bed feel even more luxurious. feel the soft fabric of your sheets against your skin. Notice the comforting weight of the blankets pressing down on you. You are insulated. You are warm. You are sheltered, just like we are sheltered within these massive, unyielding walls. Watch the water falling from the oculus one more time. It is a bridge between the heavens and the earth, a gentle, liquid tether that connects the dark sky above to the solid ground below. As you watch the water descend, let your consciousness descend with it. Down from the active, busy parts of your brain, sinking lower and lower into the deep, quiet, subconscious parts of your mind. Down, down into the dark, down into the quiet, down into the heavy, dreamless state of deep rest. The rain will continue to fall through the oculus all night long. The ancient drains will continue to carry it away. The pantheon will stand silent and strong, holding this space of perfect peace. You do not need to stay awake to watch it anymore. You can let the image fade. You can let the echoes soften. You can allow yourself to drift on the surface of the sound, floating gently away from the waking world, descending into the beautiful, restorative nothingness of sleep. The temple is safe. The night is quiet. Your rest is finally here. We slowly turn away from the mesmerizing column of water falling through the oculus. The hypnotic, echoing splash of the rain fades softly behind us as we make our way back across the vast, geometric patterns of the marble floor. The deep, velvet shadows near the perimeter of the rotunda embrace us once again. We slip quietly back through the narrow opening of the massive bronze doors, stepping out of the timeless sphere of the temple and returning to the sheltering shadows of the portico. The air here feels different immediately. Inside, the atmosphere was heavy with centuries of silence. Out here, under the grand, overhanging roof, the night air is fresh, cool, and alive with the gentle, rhythmic hum of the open city. Take a deep breath of that fresh night air. Notice how clean it feels as it enters your lungs. The rain has washed away every trace of the day's heat, every particle of dust. The world has been scrubbed clean. As you exhale, imagine that same cleansing rain washing through your own body, carrying away any lingering tightness, any small pockets of stress you might still be holding onto. Let it all flow out with your breath, leaving you feeling light, hollowed out, and completely at ease. We walk down the wide marble steps of the Pantheon, leaving the shelter of the great granite columns, and step back out into the gentle embrace of the rain. The storm has softened. It is no longer a heavy downpour, but a delicate, steady shower. The kind of gentle rain that sounds like a continuous whisper. It patters softly against the fabric of your cloak, a subtle, comforting sound that makes you feel incredibly cozy and protected. We begin to walk away from the wide, open piazza, entering a maze of narrower, winding residential streets. This is the Campus Martius, the ancient field of Mars. Now a densely packed neighborhood of apartment blocks and wealthy estates. The towering walls of the buildings on either side of the lane create a narrow canyon, directing the sound of the rain and amplifying the quiet intimacy of the night. The cobblestones beneath our feet are perfectly smooth, glistening with a thin, moving layer of water. The sound of our footsteps is entirely muffled by the rain. We are like ghosts passing through the sleeping city, unseen, unheard, and completely undisturbed. Listen to the water running along the edges of the street. It forms tiny, winding rivers, navigating the grooves between the stones, flowing steadily downhill toward the great ancient drains. It is a beautiful, continuous rushing sound, a liquid lullaby that speaks of movement, of letting go, of allowing things to flow exactly where they need to go. You do not need to control the current of your thoughts tonight. If a thought appears, simply place it in that tiny river of rainwater at the edge of the street and watch it float away into the darkness. Do not hold on to it. Just let it flow away. As we wander deeper into the quiet heart of the neighborhood, we come across a high, imposing wall made of thick, fired brick. It is the outer boundary of a wealthy Roman domus, a grand private residence hidden away from the noise of the public streets. Set into this high wall is a heavy wooden door reinforced with bands of dark iron. The door is slightly ajar, pushed open just an inch by the night breeze, revealing a sliver of profound darkness within. It is an invitation to step away from the open streets and find a deeper, more private sanctuary. We gently push the heavy wooden door. It glides open with a soft, muted creak. We step over the raised stone threshold and enter the vestibule of the ancient house. Instantly, the sound of the outside world is muffled. The thick walls of the domus absorb the noise of the city, creating an envelope of perfect, isolated silence. The only sound here is the intimate, delicate tapping of the rain falling within the house itself. We walk down a short, dark corridor and emerge into the atrium, the grand reception hall of the house. Even in the dark, you can sense the scale of the room. The walls are covered in smooth, cool plaster, painted with deep reds and rich blacks, though their colors are now muted by the shadows. In the center of the atrium roof is a large, rectangular opening, perfectly framing the dark, rainy sky. This is the compluvium. The rain falls straight down through this opening, dropping directly into a shallow, sunken marble pool in the center of the floor below. step slowly toward the edge of the pool. The water inside is perfectly black, acting like a mirror for the night sky. The raindrops fall from the rectangular opening above, striking the surface of the pool with a sharp, delicate rhythm. Plink, splash, plink. It is a completely different sound from the heavy, echoing splashes of the Pantheon. This is small, precise, and incredibly delicate. It is a sound that asks you to listen closely, drawing your attention inward, focusing your mind on a single, continuous point. Watch the concentric circles ripple across the dark water, one ring expanding, followed by another and another, until the entire surface is a dancing, shifting mosaic of gentle movement. As you watch the ripples, feel the muscles in your neck and shoulders completely surrender. Let your head sink deeper into your pillow. You are safe in this quiet, hidden house. No one knows you are here. No one expects anything of you. We slowly leave the atrium, walking through a wide set of double doors at the back of the hall, and enter the true heart of the Roman home, the peristyle. The peristyle is an enclosed, private garden, surrounded on all four sides by a covered, colonnaded walkway. It is a sanctuary of nature built entirely within the walls of the house. We step beneath the covered walkway, standing between the slender, elegant marble columns. In front of us, open to the rainy sky, is the garden. The scent that rises from this enclosed space is intoxicating. The rain has soaked into the rich, dark soil, releasing a heavy, earthy fragrance. But mixed with the smell of the wet earth are the delicate, aromatic oils of the plants. You can smell the sharp pine, like scent of crushed rosemary, the sweet, heavy perfume of damp fig leaves, and the subtle, woody aroma of ancient olive trees. Breathe it in. Take a long, slow breath through your nose. Let the fragrant, healing air of the Roman garden fill your lungs. It is an ancient aromatherapy, soothing your nervous system, slowing your pulse, and signaling to your body that it is entirely safe to power down. The sound of the rain here is wonderfully complex. Instead of hitting hard stone, the drops are falling on nature. Listen to the soft, papery rustle of the rain hitting the broad, green leaves of the fig tree. It is a dry, whispering sound. Shh, shh. Then listen to the heavier, deeper thud of the drops striking the wet, dark earth. And underneath it all, the delicate trickling of water sliding down the stems and branches, gathering on the tips of the leaves, and falling to the ground below. Focus your mind's eye on a single, broad leaf on a bush just in front of you. In the dim, silvery light of the night, you can see a large raindrop gathering at the very tip of the leaf. It swells, growing heavier and heavier, trembling on the edge, holding on for just a moment longer, Watch it closely. It grows, it trembles, and then, with perfect grace, it lets go. It falls silently into the dark soil below. Then another drop begins to form. Synchronize your breathing with the gathering of the water. As the drop forms and swells on the edge of the leaf, take a slow, deep breath in, and the exact moment the drop lets go and falls to the earth, exhale completely. Inhale as the water gathers. Exhale as it lets go. With every drop that falls, feel a corresponding release in your own body. Let go of the tension in your arms. Let your hands fall open, completely relaxed. Let go of the tightness in your lower back. Feel your legs becoming heavy, sinking like lead into the softness of your bed. There is a small marble fountain at the center of the garden. A delicate statue of a water nymph holding a tilted amphora. A thin, continuous stream of water flows from the clay jug, splashing gently into a carved basin below. The sound of the fountain is a constant, purring melody. It never stops. It never changes. It is a flawless loop of soothing, liquid sound. The world outside this garden does not matter. The history of the empire, the marching of the legions, the debates of the senators, none of it exists here. Within these walls, there is only the dark, the fragrant herbs, the whispering leaves, and the endless, gentle flow of the water. You are completely insulated from the waking world. You are wrapped in a cocoon of sensory peace. The sound of the rain on the leaves is a heavy blanket pulling over your mind, shutting out the last remaining fragments of the day. Feel how heavy your eyelids have become. It takes too much effort to keep them open. Let them close. Let them stay closed. The darkness behind your eyes matches the beautiful, comforting darkness of the Roman night. We will stay here, under the covered walkway of the peristyle, for a long time. We will just stand in the shadows, breathing in the scent of the rosemary and the rain, listening to the water falling from the leaves. You do not need to listen to my voice anymore. If you do not wish to, you can simply listen to the garden. You can let the rhythm of the rain carry you away, drifting on a slow, gentle current, moving deeper and deeper into the quiet, restorative embrace of deep sleep. We slowly step away from the edge of the quiet garden, leaving the delicate, splashing fountain and the fragrant olive trees behind in the dark. We walk back through the shadowed atrium, our footsteps making no sound on the smooth floor. We reach the heavy wooden door of the domus, pull it gently open, and step back out into the narrow, winding streets of the city. The heavy door glides shut behind us with a soft, muted thud. It is a final, comforting sound. A sound that gently closes the door on the waking world, sealing it away, leaving us alone once more with the vast, quiet night. The rain greets us like an old friend. It is still falling with that same steady, unbroken rhythm. A continuous whisper from the sky, it wraps around us a cool, invisible cloak that protects us from the demands of the day. We begin to walk again. The street slopes gently downward, guiding us effortlessly. You do not need to push yourself forward. You do not need to exert any energy at all. The very shape of the ancient city is carrying you, leading you down, deeper into the heart of the valley. As we descend, the water running along the edges of the cobblestones flows with us. Tiny, shimmering streams of rainwater, hurrying quietly toward the lower ground. It is effortless movement. The water does not struggle. It simply surrenders to gravity, taking the path of least resistance, flowing smoothly around every obstacle. You can do the same. If there is any resistance left in your body, any lingering tightness in your muscles, simply surrender to gravity. Stop holding yourself up. Stop tensing against the world. Let the mattress support you completely. Allow your body to sink into the softness beneath you, heavy and relaxed, just like the rainwater flowing effortlessly down the ancient stones. As we follow the winding path downward, the air around us begins to change. The scent of the dry, dusty terracotta roofs and the fragrant garden herbs slowly fades away. It is replaced by a cooler, heavier scent, the raw, deep, ancient smell of dark water and wet earth. The air grows thicker here. A delicate, silvery mist has begun to roll in, drifting slowly between the brick walls of the insulae. The mist softens the hard edges of the city, the sharp corners of the buildings, the rough textures of the stone. Everything becomes blurred and beautifully indistinct. The world is losing its rigid shape, just as your waking thoughts are beginning to lose their grip, blurring softly into the edges of dreams. The sound of the rain changes too. The sharp, high tapping of drops hitting the stone pavement is joined by a much deeper, lower frequency. A constant, heavy murmur that rumbles at the very edge of your hearing. It is the lifeblood of Rome. We have reached the banks of the river Tiber. We step out from the narrow alley and onto the wide, flat stones of the river embankment. The space opens up entirely. Before us lies the great river, wide, dark, and unimaginably deep. In the absolute darkness of midnight, the Tiber looks like a river of black glass. It moves with a heavy, unstoppable calmness. It is not rushing. It is not violent. It flows with the slow, deliberate momentum of something incredibly ancient and profoundly powerful. The rain falls onto the vast surface of the river, but it does not make a splashing sound. Instead, millions of raindrops hit the dark water with a soft, collective hiss, a deep, absorbing whisper. The river simply swallows the rain, folding the falling water into its massive, dark current without a single ripple of protest. Stand here on the edge of the stone embankment. Look out over the black water, stretching across the width of the river. Fading softly into the mist are the massive stone arches of the Pons Fabricius. It is the oldest bridge in the city, built from enormous blocks of solid tufa and travertine stone. It stands anchored in the deep riverbed, completely unmoved by the heavy current pressing against its base. The waters of the Tiber have rushed against those heavy stone pillars for centuries. Floods have come and gone, storms have raged, yet the bridge remains, perfectly still, perfectly anchored. Imagine that your mind is like that ancient stone bridge. Throughout the day, a river of thoughts, worries, and responsibilities rushes against you. But right now, in the stillness of the night, you are deeply anchored. You are solid. The thoughts can flow past you, swirling around your base, but they cannot move you. They cannot disturb your peace. You are immovable, grounded in this moment of deep, restorative rest. We walk slowly onto the bridge. The wide, flat stones of the roadway are slick with rain. We stop in the very center, standing directly over the deepest part of the channel. Lean gently against the heavy stone parapet. The stone is cool and wet beneath your hands. Look straight down into the swirling, dark water below. The current is mesmerizing. It moves in slow, heavy folds, thick and dark, pulling the rainwater down toward the sea. Staring into the deep, moving water is hypnotic. It draws your focus down, away from the sky, away from the city, down into the heavy, flowing depths. Imagine, for a moment, that you can take everything that is keeping you awake, every lingering anxiety, every unfinished task, every memory of the day, and simply drop it over the edge of the stone wall. Watch those thoughts fall into the dark water. The moment they touch the surface, the heavy current takes them. It pulls them under. It carries them away, sweeping them down the river, out of the city, and into the vast, empty ocean. They are gone. They are no longer your burden to carry. Your mind is left as clear and empty as the night sky. Below us, moored tightly to thick iron rings embedded in the muddy banks, are several heavy wooden transport boats. They are large, wide cargo vessels used to bring grain and marble up from the port of Ostia. Tonight, their decks are empty. They are covered in thick, heavy canvas tarpaulins, pulled tight to keep the rain out of their hulls. These massive wooden boats sit heavy in the water. They are completely at the mercy of the river's breath. As the deep current swells and subsides, the boats sway with it. Watch them move in the mist. They roll very gently to the left, and then, very slowly, they roll to the right, rising slightly with the swell and sinking softly back down, left and right, up and down, It is the slowest, most comforting rhythm in the world. A giant, ancient cradle rocking in the dark. as the boats sway. The thick, heavy hemp ropes that tie them to the shore stretch and pull. They let out a deep, low, groaning creak. It is a slow, wooden sigh that echoes faintly over the water. Creak as the boat pulls away. Silence as it drifts back. Listen to the rhythm of the wooden boats. Sink your breathing to their slow, heavy sway. As the boat rolls gently outward, draw a slow, deep breath into your lungs. As the boat drifts softly back, exhale completely, letting your body sink deeper into the bed. Inhale, expanding. Exhale, releasing. Imagine yourself lying down inside one of those heavy wooden hulls. You are nestled deep within the belly of the boat, resting on a pile of soft, dry wool. Above you, the thick canvas tarpaulin is stretched tight, completely blocking out the wind and the rain. You are in a warm, dry, perfectly dark cocoon. You can hear the rain drumming softly on the heavy canvas roof above your head. A muted, rhythmic patter that lulls you deeper into a trance. And beneath you, you can feel the immense, supportive power of the river. You do not need to do anything. You are not steering the boat. You are not fighting the current. You are simply lying in the dark, letting the deep, slow breathing of the river rock you back and forth. Feel the gentle sway traveling up through your body, from the tips of your toes, slowly rolling through your heavy legs, relaxing your knees, completely releasing the muscles in your thighs. The gentle rocking moves through your hips, loosening your lower back, untying every knot of tension in your spine. The sway moves into your chest, matching the rise and fall of your lungs. It flows down your arms, making your shoulders drop, making your hands feel impossibly heavy and warm. Finally, the gentle rocking reaches your neck and your head, soothing the base of your skull, smoothing out your forehead until your entire body is completely and utterly relaxed. You are drifting, hanging from the tall wooden mast of the furthest boat is a single, solitary lantern. The glass is thick and clouded with mist, turning the flame inside into a soft, hazy sphere of golden light. It casts a faint, shimmering reflection across the black water. Focus your mind's eye on that soft, hazy light. Watch it gently rising and falling with the movement of the boat. It is the only light in a world of absolute darkness. As you watch the light slowly dip down toward the water, feel your own consciousness dipping with it, sinking below the surface of waking thought, moving down into the quiet, heavy depths of sleep. The light dips lower and lower. The edges of your mind grow wonderfully blurry. The sounds of the river, the hissing rain, the creaking ropes, the deep, flowing current, all begin to blend together into a single, continuous hum. A blanket of white noise that covers you completely. You are untethered. You have let go of the shore. The heavy, dark waters of the Tiber are carrying you away from the waking world, gently pulling you down the slow, endless river of dreams. There is nothing left to hold on to and no reason to try. Just let the current take you. Let the gentle rocking of the boat ease you into the dark. Drift away into the mist. Drift down into the deep, absolute peace of the ancient night. We leave the heavy, swaying boats to their slow dance with the river, turning our backs to the dark waters of the Tiber. The mist from the river follows us for a moment, clinging to the edge of our cloaks before dissolving back into the cool night air. We begin our final ascent, moving away from the low, damp banks of the valley. We walk slowly up a wide, winding path made of crushed stone and smooth earth. The sharp, clean sound of rain hitting marble is gone now. Here, the path is softer, quieter. Our footsteps make no sound at all as we climb toward the highest point in the ancient city. We are ascending the Palatine Hill. This is the birthplace of Rome, the quiet, elevated sanctuary where the emperors built their vast, sprawling palaces, lifting themselves high above the noise, the smoke, and the crowds of the city below. But tonight, there is no empire to rule. There are no decrees to sign. The emperors, like everyone else, are asleep. As we climb higher, the air changes again. It becomes incredibly fresh and fragrant. The Palatine is covered in vast, sprawling gardens. The rain has soaked deep into the fertile soil, releasing a rich, intoxicating perfume. Breathe in deeply. You can smell the sharp, clean scent of the tall Mediterranean pine trees that line the path. Mixed with the pine is the sweet, heavy aroma of wet cypress, the delicate scent of blooming night, jasmine, and the deep, earthy richness of the damp Roman soil. It is the smell of nature reclaiming the stone, a scent that grounds you perfectly to the earth. With every breath of this cool, fragrant air, your mind becomes less cluttered. Your body becomes heavier, and your spirit becomes entirely peaceful. We reach the summit of the hill. We step off the crushed stone path and onto a wide, flat terrace paved with smooth travertine. This is the Imperial Garden. We walk to the very edge of the terrace and place our hands gently on the cool, wet marble balustrade. From here, high above the valley, you can look out over the entirety of the sleeping city. The view is breathtaking in its stillness. Rome stretches out below us like a vast, dark ocean of terracotta rooftops and marble domes. The city is a mosaic of shadows, painted in varying shades of black and deep indigo. The rain falls steadily over the entire panorama, a shimmering, transparent veil that covers the capital of the world. There are no bright lights, no roaring crowds. crowds. The Grand Colosseum sits empty in the distance, a hollowed-out mountain of stone drinking in the rain. The Forum is a quiet valley of ghosts. The Pantheon stands resolute in the dark. Everything is at rest. The entire world has powered down. Standing here, looking out over the sleeping empire, you realize just how small the worries of the day truly are. The ambitions, the stresses, the endless tasks, they are nothing compared to the vast, sweeping scale of history and the quiet, unending rhythm of the natural world. The rain falling on the leaves of the great pine trees above our heads creates a constant, soothing rustle. It is a dry, whispering sound that sweeps through the branches like a deep sigh. Sha, sha. It is the sound of the earth breathing, the sound of time passing. A gentle night breeze sweeps across the terrace, carrying with it a few stray, cool drops of rain. They touch your face softly, feeling like a blessing, a final cleansing touch from the ancient sky. You have walked through the heart of history tonight. You have felt the cool rain on ancient marble. You have heard the silent echoes of the Pantheon. You have been rocked by the deep, heavy currents of the Tiber. And now, you stand at the very summit, looking down at a world completely at peace. Your journey is complete. It is time to let go of the waking world entirely. Feel the deep, profound heaviness in your legs. They are rooted to the earth, entirely relaxed, completely devoid of energy. Feel this beautiful, warm heaviness spreading slowly up through your body. It moves into your hips, sinking them deep into the mattress. It flows up your spine, untying the very last knots of tension in your back. Your shoulders drop completely. Your arms lie heavy and motionless by your sides. Your hands are soft, open, and at rest. Your chest rises and falls with a slow, effortless rhythm. You are breathing in perfect harmony with the whispering pine trees and the steady, falling rain. There is nothing left to hold on to. The city is guarding your sleep. The ancient walls surround you. The deep river flows beneath you. And the soft, velvet darkness of the Roman night covers you like a heavy, protective blanket. You are perfectly safe. You are completely relaxed. As the rain continues its timeless song, let your consciousness slip beneath the surface. Stop listening to the words and simply let the sound of my voice and the rhythm of the rain become a single, soothing hum. Let the darkness fold gently around your mind. Let the sounds carry you away. Drift down, away from the terrace. Drift down, away from the city. Down into the quiet. Down into the deep. Sleep now. Surrender to the night. Sleep peacefully until the dawn.